Okay, so I did a little bit of research for parts, and then I cleaned these up with soap and water. They look real good. So these two nylon bushings, top one's in way worse shape, especially up here where the UV hits it. These ones are available. West Coast Sailing, Murray's, eBay. I've found several sources where these are still available. I think even at McMaster Car, I typed in the dimensions and I'm pretty sure this is still an available bushing. This is not. This is discontinued. I mean, it looks like you could, these are the same size. It's just, this is longer and has a flange. These both ride, on top of the ball bearings. I'm not going to assemble the whole thing, but these stack and go like that. They live inside this tube. I'm not sure why they did two-piece. This doesn't spin. This is a one-piece thing here. So I'm guessing this is commercially available, so they just made these. Anyway, that doesn't matter. What I'm thinking about doing, I've already ordered some of these. What you could do is just order these and then, stick it in there and take a razor knife and just cut it off below that spot right there. I'm sure you could cut that with a razor blade knife without a problem. I think that was just, they probably did that for ease of manufacture. I have a lathe and I'm thinking about making this out of Teflon or Delrin one piece. Just a one piece bushing that you could slap in there. You wouldn't have to worry about upper and lower. There's no reason to have upper and lower. I think they just did that because they're trying to make things as quickly as possible, I'm sure, for as little effort and money as possible. I'm sure if you had a 3D printer, may be able to do this. The wall thickness is the only thing that I'm wondering if I'm not sure what a 3D printer wall thickness can do. It's only 50 thousandths thick. These dimensions are what I actually measured, so obviously you would have to, if you wanted it to actually turn, you would have to, like, this outside diameter here, 1.1. So I mean, if I was going to make it on my lathe, that would make it 1.097 or something like that. Slip fit, so it would fit snugly but not too tightly. The other thing to think about is that's just how these are made. They're easy fit bushings. But what that also does is allows dirt, sand, and stuff to get washed out of there, so it's not. That may be a good idea to have that slot in there. So I'm not sure yet. If I haven't really decided, I mean, I could got a slot with a bandsaw and open that up whenever I make my bushing to make sure that it has some of that. I don't know. I may make a couple, one with and one without, one piece bushings, and just see how that works. But I did order these. This looks, the bottom one, if I clean that up with a little bit of soap and water and Scotch-Brite, it would probably clean up nicely, and you could just replace this top one. I'm sure that's still dimensionally fine. If you put this bushing in here, that's still, it's not a tight fit. It's not like engine bushing. But for what it is, that's probably fine. I could probably get away with just replacing this. I might just do that. I might leave the the lathe work for later. But just wanted you to know, guys that are doing this type of work, you're going to run into that. This bushing is probably not going to be available. You can clean it up, or you can order 2 of these and just, you know, cut it down to size whenever you put, you know, you put this one in there and then put the other one in there, and it would probably stick up about like so. And you could either mark it with a Sharpie, or you could just, I think you could probably just get away with, you know, putting that piece in there so you have something to cut against, and then just take the tip of your razor knife and just cut that. Make a few passes. I'm sure this nylon would cut pretty easily. Matter of fact, I could probably try it since I know this one's junk. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's cutting through it pretty easily. Just spin it around. You know, it's not ideal. The best thing to do would be to have something that would just drop in there. But it's brittle. The part that's a UV damage is brittle. The rest of it is actually not. It's actually quite flexible. Best thing would be to have parts you could just drop in there and be done with it, but that's a solution. You could, you know, basically cut it until it's flush. I'll be done with it. Or who knows, maybe I will make a bunch of these, try them out, and become the source, the nationwide source for Hobie furling, furler bushings, since it doesn't seem like, I'm not sure if Hobie is, I don't know how they're doing. I'm sure their kayak department, I think the kayak department is split off. I don't know. I don't know the whole story, but I've heard or read some stuff on the internet where they were bought, Hobie was bought by a private equity firm, and you know, that usually doesn't mean great things for a company. As far as owners go, at least, you can't, you know, oftentimes they'll quit supplying parts because it's expensive to make these parts for boats that are, or whatever, boats, motorcycles, vehicles that are, you know, 20 years old. They're not making a bunch of money off of that. So it stands to reason that they're not going to be doing that forever. So it's a good thing to be able to find parts like this on MasterCar or whatever other suppliers you might be able to find, or make it yourself. Find someone with a lathe, or buy yourself a little bench top lathe. Learn how to make stuff. It's fun, and you can do a much better job because you're not going to be rushed for time. You know, you can come up with better solutions. And if it doesn't work, just try again. You know, like if I make this and it's bound up because sand and dirt gets in there, then I'll take it out and fix it and make another one. So it's a good way to learn, I think. And I don't mind doing things that way. Okay, I will come back. I will make another video to finish this out when these store-bought bushings come in. I bought them from West Coast Sailing, by the way. Shipping on the eBay stuff was sky high for some reason, even though the guy with the parts was in Texas. So I will be back